Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Allery. Today is Vlogmas Day 8 and as the title suggests, I'm going to be doing UK versus US covers. I am huge into cover lust and there are some big differences in these UK versus the US book covers, and so I kind of wanted to talk about which ones I liked and which ones I didn't like. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one is Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. This is the UK cover and this is the US cover, and I have to say that I really like the US cover a lot more. For a fantasy and adult book, this looks so much more badass, and this looks like a romance. I honestly have to say that this looks like a paranormal romance. I mean, if you can tell, the girl's hair is like shiny, and I think this is like the hideous thing. I have a really bad vibe against books that show people's faces or just torsos or just I just really don't like this cover at all. The US cover is definitely gonna have to beat on this one. Then I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is the US cover, and then this is the UK cover, and I'll definitely have to say that the US cover wins out. I feel like the UK cover is just like something like a teenager would draw. I don't know. It just feels very juvenile to me. It feels very, I don't feel like it's true to the story and how awesome the main character is. I just really like the simplicity of this one a little bit more. I feel like the UK cover has a bit too much going on. I really do like that the H or the A in the Heartless part is like an upside down heart. I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, I think the US cover is definitely better than the UK cover. Then I have Throne of Glass. This is the US cover and this is the UK cover. Now these are pretty similar. The only difference is that this color, like on the edges, is white in the UK cover, and I think I like that a bit more. I think it feels more simplistic. I feel like it draws you to the main Selena on the front, and I think that's really cool. And while I don't like people on the covers, I really don't like the way that Selena looks on the front of this cover, but it is CG and not like a real person, so I think they were able to make her look more like the actual character in the story, so I do appreciate that. If I did have to have a person on the front, I'd rather it be CG than an actual person, but I think the white UK cover is a lot more simplistic. Same thing with like Crown of Midnight. It has red instead of just like the whole thing being like an orangey red. It's only red in like the one spots around Selena. So I really do like the UK Throne of Glass series covers a lot more than the US ones. This next book probably is the biggest difference for me. I actually own the UK cover of The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, and this is what it looks like. And this is the US cover. Now, the UK cover definitely wins out for me. I saw this at a signing that Catherine and Valente was doing here over in Orlando, and I had to have it, so she signed it for me, which was like super sweet of her, and I just really love this one a lot more than this one, and I really don't think there's any big thing to it. The US cover that has kind of like the it's like a banner with the words in it. I think it's just there's just too much going on, I feel like. I mean, the dragon and the little girl are pretty much the same on the covers, but the fact that it's like inside of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like inside of like a picture frame kind of. I just think that's too much for me, and I really like the font that they used in this cover rather than the US cover anyway. I just think this cover is just so much more beautiful on my bookshelf than the US one. Then I have Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. This is the US cover and this is the UK cover. My favorite is the US cover, definitely, because Flawed is basically the goal of people in this society is to be perfect, to be flawed. And I think that the US cover, the one where it's all white, shows that more than the UK cover, because you know it's white and clean and sinless, and it kind of has this very clean, flawed feel to it, whereas the UK cover, it just doesn't. And so I think the US cover just, you know, explains the book a bit better than the UK one. The last two books that I have were actually a really, really hard choice for me, and they are An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night. So I'll start with An Ember in the Ashes. An Ember in the Ashes is a little bit easier of a pick for me. So this is the cover for An Ember in the Ashes. This is the US edition, and then this is the UK edition. I like the UK edition just a tad bit more. I like the simplicity of it. I like that it's black with kind of the embers coming out at you. I think that's really cool. It's the 3D effect. And I like that you can see the people on the cover a bit more. The people on this one are like in the H and then on the little corner down here. And I just think that the UK edition does this a little bit better. Now, the US version of the A Torch Against the Night by Sabathur and the UK version of this book are a lot more similar, but I like the UK version a bit better because if you have to kind of zoom in on it, but inside the words it looks like there's fire. It looks like it's like fire running across the words, and I think that kind of signifies the book and the title a little bit better than this one. This one is just kind of cold and um, it's all blue and it really doesn't give that torch against the night feel, but I think the UK edition of this book does, and I really, really like the UK's a little bit more than the US editions, but it's a really, really close race because I think these books are really gorgeous, but so are the UK editions, so it's a really close race with these. Which ones do you guys like better? A Torch Against the Night and Ember in the Ashes. Do you like the US or do you like the UK? Let me know down in the comments below. That'll be my question of the video. So thank you guys so much for coming. Make sure you check out my description where you can find all of my social media and other places around the internet. You can talk to me about books. If you guys want to see my latest video, click right there. And if you want to subscribe, click right there. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!